This is Valley News Live at noon.
Good afternoon and thanks for joining us. There are a few chances for showers on your Saturday evening, but could we see a warm up? Lisa Green is here now with details. Lisa.
Good afternoon. We're looking at some conditions that will be changing heading into the weekend, but it's been a cool one today and will continue to be a little more on the chilly side, a little below average here for a little while longer. Pretty quiet on our live view on the Dakota Magic Casino sky cam. Just barely any movement on the flags there, indicating that light precipitation that we have, or rather light wind that we have in place here this afternoon. So conditions are going to continue to be on the unsettled side heading into the weekend. I don't know if we can take a different source here so we can see my weather graphics, but I want to show you where our temperatures are at right now. We're looking at some numbers that are going to be into the 40s as you step out the door. If we could bring up, there we go. Looking at some numbers at 44 degrees in Fargo, 41 in Grand Forks, and 40 in Langdon. It's 43 in Thief River Falls, Fergus Falls at 46. Bemidji still in the 30s, so it's still cool out there. Those numbers are nice to see them go up. There are places where we're clear, we're getting lots of sunshine, other spots where we have some clouds. I'm watching what's going on north of Lake of the Woods. You can see some precipitation there. Those clouds are dipping into that area, and we may see a little bit of precipitation in that area this afternoon, but better chances for rain coming this weekend, as we mentioned. So we're going to get more into the details on that coming up here in just a couple of minutes.
All right, thank you so much, Lisa. The Pembina County Sheriff's Office needs help finding an 18-year-old man. A silver alert has been issued for Neil Keemel of Cavalier. He was last seen last night at 10 p.m. on a property along 98th Street Northeast. The man is described as a white male, about 6 feet tall, and weighs 225 pounds. He also has brown hair and blue eyes. Authorities say Neil is autistic and could be traveling on foot. He may also be wearing a camouflage hoodie. If you have seen Neil, you are asked to call the Pembina County Sheriff's Office, at 701-265-4122. A North Dakota man is being charged with second-degree murder for decapitating a man in New Mexico. According to a criminal complaint, 28-year-old Shiloh Oldrock of Fargo allegedly attacked and decapitated a man with an axe at a home on a reservation in northwestern New Mexico on October 10th. Oldrock then burned the victim's head in a wood stove before fleeing the scene. If convicted, Oldrock could face life in prison. A technical glitch forced several flight cancellations in North Dakota today. 2 flights out of Fargo were canceled, as well as 5 flights across 3 airlines scheduled to operate through Bismarck Airport were canceled. According to a statement from Delta Airlines, a technical issue affected flights operated by Delta connection partner SkyWest. Sheriffs in New Mexico say 1 person was killed and another was injured when actor Alec Baldwin fired a prop gun on a movie set. Here's the latest from Los Angeles.
This is the set of the Western Rust, Thursday afternoon, the scene of the incident marked off by police tape. Alec Baldwin is not only the star, but also the movie's co-producer. That morning, he posted this now deleted Instagram photo of himself in costume with the caption, "Back to in person at the office." Just hours later, he was questioned by sheriffs after shooting a prop gun that injured the film's director Joel Souza and killed director of photography Helena Hutchins. On Tuesday, Hutchins posted this video saying one of the perks of shooting a Western is you get to ride horses on your day off. Sheriffs say she was airlifted to a hospital where she was pronounced dead. Souza was also taken to a hospital. The circumstances of the incident are under investigation. According to movie set gun safety expert Larry Zanoff, a gun loaded with blanks has gunpowder, but should have no projectiles. Still, he says it's potentially dangerous to be within 20 feet of a prop gun when fired.
Any of that smoke or powder or that muzzle flash that could affect anyone or anything Again, we keep a standoff distance of 20 feet in order for there to be no effect on something that's in front of the muzzle.
Detectives are now investigating how firing the prop gun resulted in death and injury, and they're continuing to interview witnesses. Meanwhile, production has been halted as the investigation continues. Jonathan Vigliotti, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Gun violence in the U.S. rose significantly during COVID-19 lockdowns. That's according to a study published in Scientific Reports. The study shows incidents of gun violence resulting in injury or death were more than 30% higher during the pandemic compared to the year before. 28 states showed a significant jump in gun violence, while Alaska was the only state where the risk of gun violence dropped during the pandemic. The CDC has signed off on booster shots for the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines, making millions more Americans now eligible for increased protection. Johnson & Johnson recipients 18 or older can get a second dose 2 months after their first shot. Moderna users who were fully vaccinated 6 months ago can also get a booster if they're 65 and older or at a higher risk of infection. The CDC has also signed off on the mixing and matching of the vaccines.
Some people may prefer to get the vaccine that they got initially and did really well with. Others now may prefer to get another vaccine, and the CDC now allows for that mix and match option.
FDA regulators will begin discussions next week about authorizing the Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11, and President Biden says he expects that approval to come in weeks, not months. Meanwhile, Pfizer says the child-sized doses of its COVID-19 vaccines are more than 90% effective in kids 5 to 11 years old. The drug maker released its data today after tracking more than 2,000 kids who received doses, 1/3 of the size of those given to teens and adults. Pfizer concluded that the shots were safe and effective in preventing severe symptoms in children who contracted the disease. The Federal Reserve is now banning its senior staff and policymakers from active trading and buying individual stocks. The new restrictions announced yesterday come after some controversy over trades made by senior federal officials. Last month, the heads of Federal Reserve banks in Boston and Dallas stepped down after criticism of their personal stock investment. The new restrictions also promise to increase the timeliness of reporting and public disclosure by the Fed's board members and regional managers. A well-deserved thank you in the form of football tickets. Veterans can go to a Bison football game for free thanks to a local woman wanting to show her support for local vets. The tickets come from season ticket holders. If they can't use them, they can donate them to this effort. People can do the ticket exchange or request tickets by calling Elena at 701-899-2578. Tomorrow's game at the Fargo Dome is at 2:30. Coming up at noon, the National Retail Federation expects Halloween spending to reach an all-time high. But up next, Lisa Green has an extended look at your forecast heading into the weekend.